The Security Flow Infoblox plugin supports the management of response policy zones and the setting of an extensible attribute when adding entries to those response policy zones. The extensible attribute is optional, but to create one, go to Administration, Extensible Attributes, and create a string type extensible attribute. In this case, the name is Security Flow. To create a response policy zone, go to Data Management, DNS Response Policy Zone. In this case, we've also created a Security Flow Response Policy Zone that is a local response policy zone that will be managed by Security Flow. Now that Infoblox has been configured with a response policy zone and an extensible attribute, we can go into Security Flow and configure a plugin instance for Infoblox. This system already has a plugin instance called Infoblox. I'm going to edit it to show the settings that were configured for it. In particular, pay attention to the extensible attribute and response policy zone. These have been set up to match the configuration within Infoblox. Additionally, the response policy zone policy has been set to block no such domain, but you can also set it up to block no data. Now that we've configured the Security Flow plugin instance, we can execute a flow to demonstrate how this works. This is a sample flow that's been set up to demonstrate blocking a domain and blocking an IP, as well as removing those entries. So I'll just block a domain by injecting a message here. If I now go look at the Infoblox grid, I can refresh the response policy zone for Security Flow. And as this loads, you'll see that a new entry has been added. And that new entry is that baddomain.com, along with a comment about when it was added. When I edit this entry, I can also see that an extensible attribute was added, and this value represents the instance number, which is 17548. If I now go look at the incidents within Security Flow, there is a new one, 17548. If I go to the timeline for that incident, this shows that this bad domain entry was added into Infoblox. To recap, we went over configuring the Infoblox Grid Manager, creating a plugin instance for controlling that Infoblox Grid Manager, and a sample flow which blocked a domain. There are many other features which can be used through the Security Flow Infoblox plugin integration, including the ability to do broadcast actions